recent study found that just 3 corporations own nearly 38,000 homes in Metro Atlanta. Channel 2's Michael Dowdna is in Henry County, and he found that in some counties, corporations are buying up more than half of entire neighborhoods.
When you take a look at the neighborhood behind me, you would never usually guess that most of these homes are now rentals, but it's becoming a more and more common sight, as in counties like Paulding and Henry, nearly 1 in every 10 homes is now owned by a corporation. It's a change that some neighbors say they've seen firsthand.
It means a great deal to be able to own this and leave something for my family.
For Darren Clark, he achieved a lifelong goal when he bought a home in this Henry County neighborhood. But over the past few years, things have changed.
I don't know what it is,
I'd say
man.
at least about 60%.
I don't know what it is, man. I just love seeing black homeowners, man. Especially like this guy in his age, like, you know, he looked like he around baby boomer, possibly. And just to see them own a home, like, you know, we come a long way, man, as black people. And I love to see all people doing well, but it's just, you know, it's good to see
The
that.
homes around me are probably owned by the corporations.
It's a growing trend of homes owned by corporations, not people, with just 3 companies owning nearly 38,000 homes in the metro area.
I think that's a sad state of affairs that these companies will be able to price out the average home buyer.
This is ultimately unlike anything we have ever seen before.
Georgia State professor Taylor Shelton did the study, and he says when corporations control a large market share, that allows them to control prices, include junk fees, and neglect maintenance.
So that means that these companies are able to get away with a lot more than they would otherwise because there's no competition. They have essentially crowded out their competitors.
And other research backs up those statements, as a recent study from Georgia Tech found large landlords were 4 to 5 times more likely to have code complaints than their smaller counterparts.
When you're not a homeowner, you don't take pride in the property because you're just renting, so you feel like it's not mine, so whatever.
For those like Darren, they want to see changes that give people a leg up over corporations, so that more of his neighbors can go back to being homeowners instead of renters.
It's going to be hard, a hard hill to climb, to be able to dig out of, you know, from underneath the corporations owning so many properties. They're just going to keep snatching them up.
Now, Senator John Ossoff has launched an investigation into corporate landlords, but he has not given an estimated time when there may be legislation associated with that investigation. We're in Henry County. I'm Michael Dowdna, WSB Tonight.
Yeah, man. So this has been an ongoing thing, though, because I was looking at something a while ago, actually, probably like 6 years ago. And it was talking about that when I was looking into buying my home. And yeah, man. And even my realtor that got me into my home, she actually was telling me about like how the big time corporations and everyone they're actually buying up all the land and buying up all the subdivisions and things like that, to where they want rent only subdivisions. Just imagine that, rent only subdivisions. So as rent is just going up now, like eventually they want it to where no one can own anything. So I forgot who that was. It was a lady. She had a shirt and it says, "Don't sell grandma's house." Man, don't sell grandma's house. Literally, like if you have any family, you know, any family land or homes, don't sell it, man, because we're in a time now like where you need to pass those things down to your children. Like a righteous man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. We need to have those things in place. Then we wouldn't have to struggle so much. Just imagine if you never had to pay rent. You're just pocketing your money that you earn from your job or your business. And then you could go ahead and invest those things into your retirement or your children's education or whatever the case may be. And you know, before I met my wife, you know, I had purchased my home, and I advise all men to have your home before you meet your spouse. That's just the order I was taught. You have a job, you have a car, you have your home. And a lot of times, you know, we make things far more difficult in our community, in this community, because we want to do things out of order. We want to do second things first, and then it causes us to be put in a whole whirlwind of issues, you know. And I think sometimes we just we don't like the order of God's way because we don't get our way. And what I mean by that is, you know, when I met my wife, she had a condo, I had a home. My home was 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. And then her place was, I think it was 2 bathrooms and two bedrooms. And it was a nice little condo. And we were thinking about renting it out while we were actually, you know, planning on getting married and everything. And then we were just planning, you know, we were like, hey, you know, how soon along we wanting to get pregnant and have our first child. And so we were like, hey, you know, we could use that as a good little nest egg to get a jump start on the baby fund. So we ended up selling. But sometimes I look back and be like, man, we should have rented. But now, you know, we're in a better place to where now we kind of learn parenthood. We had to get our feet wet. We were getting newly acclimated to being married, moving in. We never lived with one another. So it was just a good thing for us to do at that time. But, you know, I was fortunate enough to with my mother, when I was staying with her before I got this home, I was just saving. And I think a lot of times, man, we make it way more difficult than what it has to be when it comes to these things, because we push our kids out a lot of times before time. And sometimes we as the children want to move out because we want to do what we want to do. We want to be on the scene, or we want to be out, you know, partying and drinking, smoking, whatever the case may be. Want to come home at a certain time and want to drive our mother's car, or want to drive our own car when we want to, when your mom paying for the insurance, the gas, whatever the case may be. And trying to be grown before your time can cause you a lifetime of headache down the line. So you may be thinking you're being grown, but then when you start getting hit with them bills, them bills start checking you, man, and you be like, look, I might have should have stayed a child a little longer, because this rent eating me up. And so I said that to say, when I was staying with my mother, and it was hard, man. You know, everybody wants their own space, but during that time, man, I just stacked my money. I had an agreement. I talked to my mother. We had, you know, I told her what the Lord was sharing with me, that, you know, I want to buy a home straight out. Like, we not renting. We not doing none of that. God told me, buy a house and get prepared for your wife. And so at that time, I had got out of college. I was in a rough patch, man. And I couldn't get a job, man. I couldn't get a job. And then when I finally got a job, I went to college late too. So I got out of college. I probably graduated college at 24, 25. And then I was out of work for like 2, 3 years. It took me a long time to get going. And when I finally got going, and I got my first job and everything out of college, I saved that money, man. And I got my car. I didn't have a car. I got my car. I had got me an '05 Camry from this lady that it was total lost. And I had went to school for body work, so I did the front end and whatnot. And I think I put $1,000 into it, paid $500 for it. I'm still driving that car to this day. I bought that car in 2019. And no, I don't have rims on it. I don't have speakers in it. I ain't got nothing crazy. And I think that's with our community, man. We try to be something, be seen, and all this stuff, and buying Jordans and getting a haircut every week, and just the black culture of being seen and all that stuff. That's why I said I'm not black. I'm not black, bro. I'm not black no more. When it comes to my finances and planning out how the culture of black people like to act, I'm not black. I don't buy J's. I cut my own hair. I've been cutting my own hair now for like 10 something years. And we're going to do a breakdown on finances, man, a little bit later here, just to show you, like, you can obtain purchasing a home and getting the things that you desire, but you have to make sacrifices. And we're going to take a look at this family here. They're just pretty much going through the thick of trying to get a home, and it's talking about Wall Street buying up all the single family homes.
For years, John and Angie Collier saved.
Oh, this is nice.
Eager to buy a first home in Fishers, Indiana, attracted by the good schools and proximity to work. But pursuing the American dream has proved daunting.
Oh, sorry, outbid.
Fishers, named by Money magazine one of the best places to live, is part of a national trend as real estate investment groups buy up houses in cash and rent them out, in some cases, to the very families who dreamed of owning them. In January, 33% of all homes purchased in the U.S. were bought by investors, often Wall Street-backed companies with multi-billion-dollar funds. The Colliers currently rent in a town near Fishers from one of the nation's biggest house rental companies. Their rent recently raised 8%.
Good to see you. Come on in.
4 times in recent weeks, they've been outbid by investors with all cash offers.
It can be, discouraging when you get overbid by, companies.
How do you save when you're spending $2,200 a month just to rent?
So these companies have you on both ends.
Yeah, it's definitely a conundrum.
In some Fishers neighborhoods, investors own more than half of the homes, according to realtor Laura Turner.
This is one of the neighborhoods that investors have really targeted. They're coming in, they're buying it at cash, and then they're going to hold them as rentals.
Fishers Mayor Scott Fadness is frustrated by the surge of distant, faceless landlords.
Have you been able to talk to any of these companies?
It's very difficult. So take, for instance, if you have a high grass and weed issue, a code enforcement issue, if they own 4,000 homes, who is the individual that you can go talk to about a specific problem?
In a statement, the National Rental Home Council said NRHC member companies own just a fraction of the homes throughout the state of Indiana, and that its 5 largest member companies maintain an A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. Builder Steve Lanes argues rental companies aren't taking away possibilities from families, but in many cases, creating them.
There are a segment of people who are no longer able to buy a home because they can't afford that home, but they don't want to be in an apartment. They're looking for those opportunities to rent in those communities.
After getting outbid time and again, the Colliers say they've given up on Fishers.
Is the American dream still accessible?
I think the American dream is changing. Our society may be going in that direction where we are getting further away from ownership, but I don't think it's the right direction.
I love the screened-in porch.
They've put in a bid on a home in a town farther out. Their American dream modified, not broken. Antonia Hilton, NBC News, Fishers, Indiana.
Man, that can be very tough there, man. That man is trying to, and his wife is trying to purchase a home. And I think sometimes we can actually make it bigger than what it is when it comes to purchasing a home, because there's things that we definitely can mitigate. Like, I know for myself, eliminating the bill of getting a haircut every week, man. Like, I started cutting my own hair, and anything going on with my vehicle, hey, research it, try to fix it myself. And speaking of vehicles, man, you do not have to drive the most flashiest car and having the nicest rims, and rims are a bill, bro, because you have to get the special cut tires. And if you're buying those special cut tires, like I remember, it was hot. I had the box Chevy back then and I didn't have rims on it. But if you're putting rims on a car, man, you're gonna have to get those special cut wheels, and you're gonna have to pay, shoot, I think minimum at that time, it was like $1,000 just for your tires. And I mean, like, that was for some 22s if you had 22-inch rims. But now, man, like, shucks, we ain't even got to get into that, but that's just another bill. By you adding something to your vehicle, it's another bill. It's already a depreciating asset, and you're adding onto your depreciating asset. So if you got a car note, you're paying for gas, you're paying for insurance, then you put rims on it, bro, you're 4 times in on a depreciating asset, and you already got to pay. You got 4 different bills for the vehicle. Like, let alone you got a mortgage or rent and what have you. So that's something that we can definitely mitigate. The vehicles, you don't have to have the nicest vehicle, man. I wanted to show a video right quick. I'm gonna show this video of this young dude. They're playing around, man, but it's legit though. What are you saying?
Yeah. Everybody gonna want me. Big 392B. Super B. Yeah. Everybody gonna want me. Yeah. You got any money down to get you to that 250 payment? We gonna talk about all that. You trying to get me to do some illegal stuff. Down payments is illegal. Nah, we gonna talk about that. Just make it work, brother. Hey, brother. Just make it work, all right?
Yeah. What we looking at, boss? I need me a new car.
Yes,
I need
sir.
a new car.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what are we trying to accomplish? You know, like where are we trying to be at monthly?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I got the 2012 Juke.
Yeah.
I don't want to be no more over that payment. I want that same payment, not a penny over.
What do you currently pay right now?
I pay $250 a month.
So
but I break it down, so about $125 every 2 weeks.
So you want to pay $250-ish on that scat pack?
On the scatty, yeah.
How much we got down?
Shoot, I mean, you know, down payments illegal and stuff. So I mean, we gonna try to work with zero.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
You got me?
Yeah, we gonna see what we can do.
We locked in.
We gonna see. Hey. We gonna see what we gonna do.
We locked in. Hey, you a brother, so you gotta take care of him.
Yeah.
Here we go with that.
All right. Got some numbers.
What we got?
All right.
Yeah, sir.
So 72 months, 10,000 down. We are at 800 a month.
You said this on the one I want.
Yeah.
How much? 10,000?
Yeah.
Nah, bro. I told you I need to be at 250, bro.
All right. So, is there any way that we could put like more down? You know. So for every 1,000 that you put down, it's $20 off of your payment.
$20 for every rack?
Yeah. So every like 10,000.
Nah.
It's like 100 off.
Nah. If you can't get me down with zero down, I'm out of here.
All right. I also did show you an option for zero down. This is where we're at. 72 months with zero down. That's your payment right there.
$1.30. 130.
That is
130.
No, that is 1,300 bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly?
So man, hey, they being comical, man, but I work in finance, so I literally just took a payment for somebody's vehicle for it was $1,300, and it was I want to say a Telluride. No, it was a Bronco. So man, just looking at these vehicles, man, nowadays it's crazy, man. Yeah, I wanted to show you guys, like, I told you guys I got an 05 Camry. So a 05 Camry is pretty much valued at $5,000. These are, you know, and people could look at this and be like, bro, I hear in a Camry, bro, it's like you can get the vehicles that can get you from point A to B. It's just up to you willing to make that sacrifice. If you're willing to pay, you know, $38,000 mortgage, I mean, not mortgage, but if you're willing to put yourself in a loan with crazy interest rates on a vehicle that costs $38,000 or $68,000 and your payment is up there in the 1,200s and stuff like that, bro, like, and then sometimes these vehicles are used. So this is a used vehicle. These are used vehicles. And my car was total lost. And my car was $500. And man, I thank the Lord for that car. And I call it Silver Surf, man. That's Surf, man, be getting me through. So I'll be driving Surf all the way to North Carolina, Georgia, everywhere. I done been everywhere in that car. Did not one problem. I think the only thing I changed on the car was the starter and the battery since I had it. So, and my wife's vehicle is paid off too. When I met her, she had paid her vehicle off, but she got a Hyundai. So Hyundai Sonata, Elantra, and it's a 14. And we're not getting rid of those vehicles. Like, why would we get rid of the vehicle and get a payment when we could take the money that we're making? We're both working, and we could take the money and pay towards the principal on our home, and you know, we could delegate where we're going to put money at and save up for our child's education and, you know, put money towards our retirement and all these different things. And I just want to bring up this, like, So if you're one of these people, you gotta have what you want. Man, just taking a look at this, you know, I've never paid a car payment. So this is what's like, you know, I always had an older vehicle that I just bought with cash. So ownership is key, man. Ownership is key, because if we own things, we can always pass down things to our children and pass on things to family members, and then they don't have to be in a bind. But I think in our community, man, we just can't get it together, man. Like, we just want to be, we want to be seen, bro. We want to be seen, and we just want to be on the scene all the time. That's why, like, even when I met my wife, I was like, thank you, Lord. She do her own hair. My wife do her own hair, man. I was like, oh my God. That was the most attractive thing to me. Like, man, looking at this right here, look at this, man. So the bundles, man. Your girl need 2 packs of bundles out the gate. Out the gate. 2 bundles. Minimum she gonna get is most likely by 18 inches. 18 inches of the Brazilian body wave, man. Yep. And you gonna have to come up off that, man. That's not even including the price of the hair. The hairdo. So they braiding, whatever, sew-ins, all that. I mean, some of them girls, shucks, they get up to $600, and then they be taking the hair out in a month. You be like, oh no, that's a mortgage payment on your head. You just walk around with a mortgage payment, and you getting on the bus, or you gotta call an Uber to work. No ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. And then as a man, if you're entertaining a young lady and you see certain financial habits or things that you wouldn't be willing to have that money exit the household, and you would have to put order in place and structure to where, hey, no, our finances, like the vision that I have for my family, if her financial discipline and the way she moves is not aligning with the vision that you have, you don't even need to entertain that woman.
He ain't lying.
And some people, not only just the women, some men have bad spending habits to where they want to do stuff like that. If you got sick, you got bad, I said sick habits. If you got bad habits to where they're going to make you sick, where you smoke or you drink and things like that, those things are going to eat you up. It eats up people's money, man. Black people are the biggest consumers when it comes to everything. Like, our dollar leaves the community. Like, our dollar leaves the community, and it's not going back within our community. So what are we doing with our dollars? If we can make everyone else millionaires and billionaires, and I'm not trying to make this a black thing or anything, it's just that I am black. So I am passionate. And I know I said I wasn't black. I know that's what you said. But just to make headway, that these things that we do with our money keeps us back. And our financial discipline, us wanting to be on the scene and wanting to be a part of a number, and we're wearing things that we shouldn't be wearing. Like, you see this I got on? This ain't polo. This that other polo. The one that I think is the US polo. Yeah. I got this shirt for $3. I seen it on clearance rack, and I was like, bet. Like, it's just certain things that you gotta do, man. Like, I've never been a person who buys J's. You gotta make sure that you're putting your money where it needs to go. People may laugh at you with certain things, just like, you know, when I was a bachelor and I had the cam, man. I remember I saw this young lady and I was like, okay, you know, I seen something I like, you know, and I was like, oh yeah, man, she looked at my car funny. I was like, okay. But what she didn't know is I was talking to my realtor at the time. I had just got clearance to purchase my home. I had $70,000 in the bank. I had a job. And she missed out, man. And I think with our young women, need to be retrained, need to be trained by older women who have the wisdom of God. Not saying it's all about money, but when you have someone who has structure and you being able to discern a husband or being able to discern a wife, you need to see the qualities that align with what you've been praying for God for. And you need to know what you need to be seeking the Lord for in a spouse that will be a suitable mate for you. And it's not all about marriage, but with the economy, a 2-income household ain't bad. I'm gonna just tell you that. Now you can get by your own if you have a nice, job, but make sure you're doing right with your money, man. We have to be good stewards over what God bless us with, man. But I did have something else here, but I don't think I did though. I don't think I did. I think we're gonna wrap it up, man. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Think we're gonna wrap it on up. I lied, man. I lied. I forgot I had a scripture. Deuteronomy 6, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 10 through 11. And it shall be when the Lord thy God shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not, and houses full of all things which thou fillest not, and wells digged which thou didst not, vineyards and olive trees which thou plantest not, when thou shalt have eaten and be full. And this text here, man, just goes to show that throughout the times where blessings upon blessings have fallen upon our forefathers, and God called us, as I stated earlier, to leave an inheritance for our children's children. And as we progress throughout our lives and we do the things that the Lord has told us to do, and we're obedient, because obedience is better than sacrifice. When we do those things and we sacrifice on the front end, then we don't have to sacrifice on the back end of our lives, man, where, you have to be the one out there hustling and all this stuff in your latter days, and then you're older in age. How I always think about the person who, and no shade against the people who may be elderly and they work at Walmart and stuff like that, and they may be a greeter, but then you see a lot of them, man, this is just real, man. Like, you will see them, they seem like they may be afflicted in their body and they still have to work. They're forced to work. And a lot of times, man, it's because of the home ownership. And not saying that everyone's supposed to own a home, but it's just the facts of, if you have to rent and you don't own something, or you don't own something, like, you can't just mitigate a cost of something. And one of the biggest bills people pay is their rent. And it's sad to say, man, like, a lot of us are comfortable there. So we have to get out of that mindset and allow God to purge us of those things that he didn't call us to, man. He didn't call us to be over here born and scraping and scrapping and all of that stuff, man. We have to trust the Lord and make those sacrifices. Like, God has called us to be multipliers of what he give us, and we have to be good stewards over what he gives us. And just like the talent parable, when we are given something from God, we're supposed to multiply it. And we're supposed to be able to show that we can be fruitful in all the things that he's blessed us with. But hey, I ain't gonna hold you. That's the end of our video. Y'all already know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, comment on this video. Let me know what you think. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.